Hey folks, and welcome back. This is Lucid, and we're back in our game with Late Rlyeh, and we have a very nice turn. Not only is this going to be a one turn this episode, not only is this a wonderful turn just because we're gearing up for the war with Oceania. This is just a scout ping, don't worry, it's not happened yet. And that's always fun because you get to plan out how speculate how the war will go, plan out your opening moves. But we got very lucky site searching. We found a kelp grove, which we can summon algae men from. I'm not sure if that's actually worth it. But we get a nature gem, because apparently Rlyeh is an earth nature nation. Now, hopefully, once we get arcane probing, we also become an astral nation. We've site searched a fair amount of astral, but not very high. And we also haven't site searched holy. So holy also has a pretty decent chance to get you an pearl income. So we've done some, but we haven't found much. So hopefully our luck turns around. If not, it's actually not that bad because we can make our own pearls later. Anyway. And then we found two more sites. We found the Sea of Dead Memories, which is a phenomenal site. Anytime it's a site that I don't know what the name is, it normally means it's a good one. And this one I've never seen before, so it's pretty darn good. 3 gems, a death, an astral, and a water. And we can send a death mage in to summon a shade. And shades are actually pretty good. They're about... you can think of them as like a death gem per shade is kind of what they're worth. And they are kind of worth it. They do have armor negating attacks. So they can help defeat certain kinds of thugs and whatnot. And they're a good unit. I would say generally all around. This would probably, it's probably worth having a Revenant or something go sit in there and just make them for forever. But before we do that, we have just gotten Conjuration 3, which means we're going to start spamming out Dark Knowledge. We found another site, which is the Eye Pebble Plain, which is another phenomenal site. It gives us 1 pearl. An Astro Mage can enter to scry, which actually is really good. I've really been trying to get a Stone Sphere, Stone Sphere, so that I can start start scrying some of these thrones. Unfortunately, there's not many thrones. Because this is like in the interior of a planet, there's actually not many thrones that are close. And I'm not actually sure, we can do these ones, which are here, which, great. There's a decent chance I can already figure out what those are. Some of these that are nearby on, in the stars, this one I think is in range, so I can see what that is. But honestly, I can just look at Zabalba and see what they've claimed. It's more interesting for the high-level thrones, which aren't nearby, like this one, I would really want to see, but that's just out of range. And then the stuff on my planet, I'm quite sure is out of range too. Yeah. Pretty much, I think almost everything I'm going to want is out of range. Though it's a little deceptive on this map, because you don't necessarily know where all the connections are. See, there's a 6 here, you would have never guessed. I think it's down here. Yeah, somehow it connects somewhere over here. So this is almost... okay, no, that's not in range. Are these in range? Okay, these are in range. These are maybe worth checking out. Anyway, we've got that. That's not in range. So anyway, because there's not something urgently that I want to check, we're going to have this guy move up here. He's going to site search and then move over here where I've got a fort coming up. I guess before we get into all the nitty gritty, we'll keep going through this thing. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about this is it does cause an event, which is this thing. If given time, an Astral Mage may be able to find interesting things at the Eye Pebble Plain. This basically gives you a chance to find a low-level astral item that is, small and spherical, like an eye. You can get an Eye of the Void. Excuse me. You can maybe get a couple other things. I forget what they all are, but none of them are phenomenal. You can also get some pearls, astral pearls. So it is worth probably sitting an Astral Mage here for a turn or two and have him scry stuff. And while he scries it, we'll probably find something. But this guy is on a mission. He needs to get here fast. So he's going to come here, site search, and then get here, and that will be just in time to build a lab. For battles, we had a battle here where we go after these Ichthids in the river. I was a little worried about this because we were a little bit unfortunate, and also we made a mistake, I guess you could say. sending our god, these guys in with our god, and so we had these slave guys route. But they hit pretty efficiently here. I think we lost 2. Coming down, we ping this, and Sablecat, who's my backup dude, who's been helping me, what happened was I had joined this game as Late Age Rlyeh, and he was thinking about joining, so he's looking at who people had signed up as, and he saw I signed up as Late Age Rlyeh, and he has played Late Age Rlyeh in Dominions Enhanced a few times. And so he was asking me if I knew how to play them, and this, that, and the other, and we got to chatting and bouncing ideas off each other, and I really thought he had some interesting ideas, and he knew a lot of the obscure mechanics about how Late Age Rlyeh worked. So anyway, I basically asked him if he wanted to be on my team. And so he's been looking at every turn and been trickling in good advice. And here he found a phenomenal detail that I missed, which is a lot of things here are horror marked. And there's not many things that are going to cause people to be horror marked. It will also, a lot of people here are cursed too. There's only one site that I know of that's going to curse and horror mark people, and that is the Shattered Throne. So we know what throne this is, which is actually a big deal. The Shattered Throne is one of the game, strongest thrones in the game. It's a level 3 throne. Well, here's where we're looking at, right over here. It's a level 3 throne. And I think I actually want to control it. Where are we? The Shattered Throne. It doesn't tell you here, but it will curse and horror mark units that are standing there. Okay, so it's going to increase unrest. It's going to increase magic and fortune, which, by the way, magic and misfortune. It's going to give your dominion misfortune 1. So I actually wouldn't really want to claim it right now if I got it. It spreads dominion, which is nice. It gives us slaves, which would be kind of good for breaking us into blood. I really do want to get broken into blood, and 4 blood slaves will go a long way to getting you somebody close to empowering. And it gives 2 pearls, which I care about. The reason I think I want it, actually, isn't to have it myself, but I want to deny it from Nabah and from Ulm. And the reason I would want to deny it from them is that these are both potentially blood nations. Nabah will use this to summon Shaitan for an ungodly cheap price. And I had this last game as Ulm, and it is game-changing as Ulm. It is really good. So we don't want them to have it. So I think we're going to try to take it. The good news is we should be able to take this reasonably easily with our god. If we look at what we have to deal with. Fire snakes, they do fire damage. I think this is AP. But with here's the long and short of it. There's a lot of things here with heat aura. These guys have heat aura. These guys have heat aura. And the long and the short of it is we're going to need at least 5 fire resistance to deal with the heat aura. And that will help a lot with these. We have poison resistance and other things. These guys are going to be fine. They're not going to hurt us. This guy potentially could Soul Slay, but probably won't. Astral is his highest path, so I'm not totally sure. I would probably, I don't know. If I were really a mouth-breathing tryhard, I would try to test it. I think what I could do is this thing I've done before, which is, I horror mark the enemy mage, and then I do Summon Power of the Void, and that will make the horrors less likely to attack me, and then I can finish my script and jump in. It's also going to give me more MR. The problem is there's a decent chance if I do that, I get horror marked. And then when I come into the throne, there's a chance I get horror marked from the throne itself. So not 100% sure when I want to take it or how that's going to work. But I do not want this falling in the hands of a blood nation. Oh, no, no, no. So if I get it, I would probably fort it, put assassins in there or something, and hope they don't. Ulm has spies. So they would actually, it's going to be very hard to keep Ulm from knowing what throne this is. I mean, these guys get spies with Shaitans too. So they're going to know. I think this means, it's so weird how little things in the game can mean such big things. But I think this throne being here is going to mean I have to conquer all these guys. Not now, but I think this has to be part of the war plan. I was more focused maybe I would go up here or something if I ever do anything on my planet. But I think if I do something, I have to conquer these guys. And the reason I think is pretty straightforward. They probably are not going to tolerate me to have this throne. And if they're not going to tolerate it, then... and I'm not going to tolerate them having it. Now, for me, I'm just denying it from them, like I said. So it's not like they're not tolerating me having it because it's strong on me. They wouldn't be tolerating me having it because, you know, it's they want it for themselves. So we'll see. I don't actually remember where Nabaa is. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll find it soon enough. That was that throne ping. And that was a kind of big deal. Sablecat and I spent a lot of time talking about that. And coming down here, we're fighting this place. And we get a pretty good engagement in terms of the formation. This is not a strong army I have. It's kind of like a bunch of hobos all thrown together. And we barely win this. I mean, we take a fair amount of losses. This could have gone pretty badly. In terms of what we lost half of our Kalulu, which is a little sad, but we're also kind of happy to get him off the payroll by now. And we lost some slave guardians, which is more sad. The difference is these slave guardians are slaves, so they have less upkeep, and the Kalulu are kind of expensive. So we're okay seeing the Kalulu go. But yeah, that was that. And then we pinged this province, because if he PD dumped it or put a big army here, I would want to see what he has, but he doesn't really have much. And then we got a bunch of events. I guess we'll go through them. We got attacked by Tritons here, so we're going to have to go back and take that. Got some bonus PD, which is nice. This is this site from the iPebble Plain. We got some Misfortune Unrest, some more defense. I don't know why we're getting this so much. We're getting this all over the place. Preparing for war. And then a Dominion of Garothan for... wait, was this in... yeah, we got some population. This is the rebirth mod event. And then some water gems, which is very nice. And then that which wasn't so nice. And we got attacked by Indies here and lost a province. So anyway, that's basically what's happened this turn. So, and Joman is out. Everybody pour one out for the Jomanese. Okay, so what is happening? Let's talk about the main thing, which is this war with Oceania. Well, they have moved these guys up here, which leads me to think they're going to try an invasion up here. So what I've done, the thing is these centaurs are going to trample, but in a cave, they're going to get a stat penalty, which doesn't matter that much for trample, I don't think, because it doesn't use an attack score. But it means we are going to have a higher effective attack score on our guys for hitting them. So my plan is basically hit a flank, and try to kill it. We've also got a fair amount of PD. I think I probably should put more, like... I don't know. And these guys are size 3, too. I probably should put a bit more. The problem is, we actually have some money issues this turn, guys. I don't like it, but that's the way it is. I think I might actually should move these guys up. Yeah, I think we're going to move these guys up, actually. Okay, so anyway, we're moving these guys up here. I don't want him coming through and running around my backside. That will be annoying. But importantly, also, so he may come up here and raid. I was going to raid him, but that's not going to happen now. Because we would not kill these guys. Now, underwater, we're actually going to do better. Because they're going to trample, but I would rather have the PD in darkness. So the land thing favors him. He's better on land than these guys are. But, yeah, it's the other factors that still make me want to take that fight on the defensive. Now, the other thing is, he has claimed this throne, and the throne he got was this one, the Throne of Might. So blessed troops get +2 strength. And I had forgotten what his bless was, so I went back and looked it up. His bless is regen, Stygian skin, or Stygian flesh or whatever, for invulnerability 10, and chill aura, which actually would be pretty good on his knights. There's a decent chance. Now, I think we both took Heat Dominion, or he's neutral. Yeah, he's looking to be neutral. Yeah, okay. Well, I took Heat. He's neutral, but it's not... His chill aura probably won't work great because it's not in cold scales, so that does limit the effectiveness a good bit. However, it is possible that, especially if he gets like Water Ward or something, which he doesn't have yet. It's Enchantment 5, but I don't know. I can imagine where his Cav holds up long enough in the front line that they chill my guys out. The problem is invulnerability is useless versus these guys. And generally, regeneration is going to be a lot better against lower damage troops. But high damage troops like Meteorite Guard, you're only going to be alive a couple turns probably. So I don't know. His Bless, not super great versus my guys. But having 2 strength on his Bless is going to help. And the interesting thing is this actually is a throne I would like. It's going to... Our Sacreds, which we... Normally when you play Rlyeh, you don't really have that many of. But now you actually... With Dominions Enhanced, Rlyeh gets a fair number. Like, look, we have all these. These guys don't really care about strength, but these guys do. All these tentacle attacks. These are armor-piercing attacks, and they have a lot of them. And, like, even these little shitheads here, they've got, 5 damage. If we get Empower Magic Being, it jumps them up to 9. And then with the Bless, if we get that bonus strength sight, it's going to jump them up to 11. 2 11 AP attacks is a lot. So, anyway, it's kind of cool. And I think Withering Weapons, if I recall... or Decay Weapons, I think it affects... Well, we should be able to tell. I think it's on damage. Yeah, wounded. So it will also increase the amount of decay we're applying, I believe. So anyway, all in all, this would be a good turn for us to have. And I think we're going to just, reach out and take it. Now, what was funny was when I looked at the turn, I was thinking, okay, he's not... Because he's moved these guys up here, because he lost a big stack of dudes over here, he doesn't have many troops. And I know he's not going to have some huge scary force here to defend. So my original plan was he's probably going to move his god here and his army, get them in position in his capital, and then reinforce this province, in the subsequent turns. The move I was going to do against that was teleport in here, because there's almost no way his god could be present in the magic phase, because the soonest his god could get here would be moving here, and the next turn he moves here, but I could magic phase before his god normal phase moves in here, thereby kill his army, any province defense he has with my god, and then we fight his god with my god and my army. So that was my plan, but because he's kept his god still, and he's moved his army up here, well, that's going to mean different things. What that I think is going to mean is my army doesn't have anything to worry about. Kappa, that may be not correct, but that's how I'm thinking about it. My army may not have anything to worry about coming in here. And it also gives me an opportunity. Now, last turn, when I got to see the battle, his god was in one hostile enemy dominion. Now, after that battle took place, his god may have spread scales, and he's claimed the throne this turn, and he sat here, so he may have up to 3 scales, which is going to matter, because he's doing personal regen, and he's got regen on his god. He can probably regen, depending on how much dominion he has, he can probably regen 35 to, maybe upwards of 40 HP a turn, which is a lot, especially when he has bark skin and some other stuff on him. So yeah, let's talk about that briefly. I've actually got a test game where I tested this out. The reason I wanted to test is we're YOLOing my god in. We're teleporting my god on top of here. Well, okay, I forgot that. I know I'm kind of mixing my words up here, but my original plan was to move my god in here with my army. Then, when I saw how this turn played out, and he didn't look like he was going to actually force a fight here, I thought, okay, well, let's start this off by sending my god on top of his capital. So that was going to be my move. Sablecat then looked at the turn. He was like, dude, you can get his god. And I moved my god particularly so I could magic phase. But for whatever reason, it didn't occur to me I can just jump on his god with mine with teleport, and he's not going to be able to dodge it. And the script I've come up with for this is Spirit Curse and Power Magic Being, Skeletal Body, Horror Mark attack. Now, what we could do is, drop one of these skeletal bodies, or, drop the Horror Mark and do Power of the Void. And we're going to have some gems on him for him to use later. So, if we do that, we're going to get a big bonus to strength and attack and defense. The problem if we do that is there's a decent chance we get Horror Marked, because in a longish fight, eventually there's going to be some of the horrors that have the astral claw, which will horror mark you, and we'll get horror marked. No, horror marked isn't a huge deal, especially on a badass god like this. The problem, though, is, anytime you're not expecting it, you can, have a horror jump out of your rice bowl and attack you, which is not good. The other problem is, and this is like a weird thing, but if I'm horror marked, it's going to make it harder to use Power of the Void. Because then even if I horror mark somebody else, the horrors are still going to come after me. So basically, the long and the short of it is we can do it. We could horror mark we could do, cast horror mark and then do Power of the Void. And it will probably be fine. Like, probably 3/4 of the time, we are going to, be successful. We will munch them and not get... But I think it's safe enough for me to go in here and attack him without it. The risk, there's a few risks. One of the risks is that he runs, and then I have to chase him off and kill him somewhere else. He only has 2 places he can go to, here or here. So, anyway, that would be a bit annoying. But the other risk is that somehow, and this hasn't happened in any of the tests, I guess we'll go ahead and pull it up. Let me pause. All right, so I've got the test game pulled up, and yeah, basically we do Spirit Curse, which is generally good to do on gods, but also it can help me win. Not only is this just a little spiteful to do, to try to curse their god, but it can actually help me win the combat itself, because getting Never Healing Wound on them will reduce their HP regen, and that's pretty nice. We can also potentially get a Limp or a Cripple on them, which will cause them to move much slower off the battlefield if they're running, which gives us a longer time to get in front of them. And if we get in front of them as we're chasing them, then they're not going to be able to run away, and then we'll be guaranteed to kill. So yeah, Spirit Curse and Power Magic being, because really there's a DPS kind of test. Can we do enough damage before they run away? I think what we'll do, we're going to take off Power of the Void. What I've been doing is Skeletal Body. Just do this exactly like ours. And I think what I'm going to do, we're going to wait one more turn. And... oh my god. Come on. Come on, game. He should have been at 3 candles here. Now it's showing... huh. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's going to take just 1 second. How is their Dominion getting pushed so badly? Okay, we're going to get 2 of these guys, and we're going to breach. Oh my god. Okay, we're at 1. Okay, we're at 4. This would be this is like the absolute highest it could be. And now we're going to send my god in. And we'll see if this works. I think I have a bit of PD here. It's Kappa's too, which would be actually very good, decent against the god. His script is Skeletal Body, Bark Skin, Personal Regen, Breath of Winter, Quicken Self. I think Horror Mark actually goes off correctly on them, yeah. Okay, these guys are not long for the world. Okay, we are now fighting this lady. And I know it's a little anticlimactic for those of you who are wanting to, and she's going to fatigue out real fast with the chest wound. There's just a lot of good things that come from Curse. We got hit. We got an Affliction here. We got a Limp. Combat speed -half. I don't think that's going to matter too much. And they're fatigued out. But we're killing them rather slowly here. Because we're not... oh no. This is going to be one of those ones where she gets away, isn't it? Yeah. So this is what I'm worried about. Her retreating. The problem, too, is if she retreats like this... I'll show you again. We'll roll the dice. We'll see what happens if we do Power of the Void. All right, this is the other script I was thinking about running. Horror Marks and then Power of the Void. Problem is, there's a decent, like a 1 in 4 chance we get horror marked ourselves from the horrors, but we're more likely to kill. So let's see how this goes. Now, our stats in this are pretty phenomenal. We got 28 strength, so we've got a fair amount more damage outlay, and we're much less likely to miss. Now, one of the things that is different between this test game and the real game is I've got 4 experience stars, which is going to give me a bonus strength and bonus attack, so I'm going to hit more often. I'm still... Oh my god, I just got slapped. Oh, -4 strength. What a good slap for her to get in a DPS race. 2 afflictions. Every time she's hit me, she's caused an affliction that damages my strength. But you can see if the wrong kind of horror pops up, I just get... I don't think I've gotten horror mark because we haven't gotten the actual horror. But we got a pretty afflicted. I don't really know. I mean, these are all fine. They're going to go away. But yeah, the one that actually looks like the default horror is, well, that is the one that will give us the horror mark. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, we'll run it one more time. Because I want you to see kind of what the odd distribution's like. All right, so we've got it back, and let's take a look. We're going to do it again, this time without Power of the Void, because I really don't want to cast it if I don't need to. Especially if I don't really have a great way for... I think if I get like a Sculptata Volturnus, which is really good against Tars, I'd be more likely to. Because it will tend to zap them if they get close. But that's a Construction 6 item, so we're a ways off. Does she have piercing attacks? Not really. Skeletal Body does not do much. What's her combat speed? She's got quickness, but when I get slow on her... Chest wound. Now, we've smacked the dog shit out of her, but she hasn't gotten an affliction yet. I guess that's from regen. Still no affliction. The afflictions are actually kind of important. Oh, we're actually taking damage. Okay, we finally got some afflictions. We got Never Healing Wound and Strength -4. Never Healing Wound means we should be ticking her down. Yeah. And then Mute. Excellent. But then she's going to run when she gets really low like this. And I have to get lucky and land in front of her. Like that, which... Oh, she walked around me, that bitch. Ooh. So 2 for 2 when I don't do Power of the Void. Now, this would assume she gets 4 candles over these past few turns to be at this high strength. I mean, high HP. I don't know. It seems like an okay use of a turn. In none of these did my god get routed or die. So I think we're fine. But I don't know. It would be nice. You know what? It would honestly be a good item to have here. I should have thought about it. For if I was thinking about it, I definitely would have made it, is the Jellybeard. Which, there's this thing, which I think is the one I can forge now. I think this is a construction 2 item. We'll let her heal her afflictions. We'll just send her in real quick. Well, I wonder how she does if she's literally patrolling her capital and we send our god in, but with the Jellybeard. The thing is, he's not going to reinvigorate. Oh, he's going to fatigue out if he does that. But this will guarantee she doesn't run. But we will fatigue out because I have no more lifesteal. If I get rid of this, yeah. Shit. I mean, if I did Power of the Void, I think I would be fine. What's my attack? 20? We'll do Power of the Void here. There's a decent chance we fatigue out and die. Yeah, we're not healing either. Oh, we've lost an arm. Wow, that's interesting. We lost an arm, so our life drain came back. Yeah, that didn't work. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen my god die. I think the difference is we're fighting in Dom 10, so she's going to have a boatload of strength. These things are going to hurt a lot more. Like the claw hurts a lot, and this hurts a lot. So anyways, you can see there's some risk involved. In fact, I don't think it's worked. I don't know. Has it worked yet since I've shown you? I don't know. When I was testing it, it seemed to work most of the time. But I was also testing it in Dominion 1. So Dominion 1 and Dominion 3 may matter. We're going to go back to the game. So here we go. Back to the game. Yeah, we're teleporting our god in. We've got him scripted with Spirit Curse and Power Magic being Skeletal Body, Hard Mark, Attack. I would say that maybe we'll have to update our estimate. It's probably 50-50 whether she runs or not. You've seen the chances where she doesn't run. In my test, she didn't run most of the time, but now that I've seen all these times where she did, it's going to matter a lot what her Dominion is. If by chance her Dominion has not spread there yet, which I find to be unlikely. But, you know, it's got to win temple checks against the enemy candles that were there. There may be, especially on the stars, there can be a lot of enemy temple checks still coming in. So it's possible it's actually neutral Dominion. It's more likely that it's like 1 or 2 candles for her. It's unlikely, I think, that it's 3. But it is possible it's 3 or 4 even. So if it's very low, if it's 0 Dominion or neutral or negative, like enemy Dominion, then she's going to get wrecked because she's not going to have the region part of her bless. And we'll just absolutely smack her. So anyway, we're going to do this. If she runs to here, it's going to be annoying. It means I probably have to fight her as part of an army, and she's going to be fighting at some point in, you know, like 6 friendly candles, which will be annoying, but I think we can deal with it. Anyway, that's basically what's happening over here. We're defending up here. We're attacking down here. Our formation for this is we've basically got these. We've got a line. And then we've got these people that are going to be on the flanks. And we've got these guys here that are grouped together. They're going to get Empower Magic Being cast on them, so they hit harder. And then they're going to go attack. And that's basically it. And I expect the army, any army versus army fight, I expect to be a stomp. This guy who's supposed to do Spirit Curse, we've just scripted him to be a Mind Blaster. Though, actually, it may be worth... Oh, no, we're doing Fanaticism. I was going to say it may be worth doing Summon of Courage, but we're doing Fanaticism. Yeah. So, anyway, that's basically what's happening here. It should be a stomp, but you never know. I'm trying to think if we have anything else we need to talk about. On this front, not much is happening. Rlyeh has attacked Krieg on land, which we're very happy to hear about. Unfortunately, Rlyeh got also attacked by Indies here. Yeah, we've got easy Indies here we're marching into. Shark Tribe. Easy Indies, and then I say Shark Tribe. It's not many. We've got enough Mind Blasters, we should be okay. And we're probably only going to have to fight like 4 or 5 that are going to trickle in, and we hit them with these guys. I think we're okay. There's a chance we lose. Tartary being Tartary, running around. These are basically like a swarm nation of horse archers. They don't really need forts, and they just run around. They have pretty good PD too. So anyway, they're doing their thing. The other thing that I probably should mention for this turn is we have had trouble. We basically, I had been getting some kind of luxury mages, like not Star Children, because I wanted to get a death random, and you can see I failed here. I forget where else I was doing it, but I think I failed over here too, wherever I did it. Yeah, we got no death randoms. So, and I want to keep rolling them until I get them. The problem, well, there's a couple problems. One is I don't have much death income. It's only 1 right now, which is better than 0, like it was a turn ago. But the other problem is I don't have enough money to make them because we have all these forts going up. So like this turn, if you look at just what I'm spending money on, we're building a lab here. And this fort will be up next turn, which, by the way, is going to be great. This, we've got a guy coming here next turn to build a temple. So that will be an outlay of 500 gold next turn. This fort finished, so we started upgrading it, and that was expensive. And over here, where we've got a fort coming up, we're going ahead and putting a temple. We definitely want to have our dominion over here, not Krieg's. So that's happening. Yeah, that's basically what's going on. Over here, you can see Baratos having a very bad time against Jotunheim. We will, however, be an excellent matchup against Jotunheim when the time comes. But we'll be happy being friendly for now. Ooh, a bunch of stuff I didn't see. Vanheim attacking Alcara. Interesting. Yeah, this is a problem. Like, Vanheim being on a coast like this, they just get really good free reign to do all this coastal raiding. It's going to be very hard to fight. And I don't know what the bless is on Alcara. They have pretty decent sacreds, and they get some kind of interesting spells they can cast, like, I think Battlefield-wide Twist Fate and stuff like that, but yeah, should be interesting. We've got, yeah, we definitely have some movement as people are getting bigger. Over here, I think Kalaman is still fighting Asphodel. So we've got this guy positioned. We'll see what Asphodel's blesses and some other things. So that will be interesting. I don't know if these guys are fighting. But yeah, anyway, everybody's getting on with their first wars, and we are ready to get on with ours. A lot of this is going to come down to like getting this god out early for us will be really clutch. It'll take their bless offline, which will mean they can only fight me with like non-blessed stuff, and I have more and better stuff than they do. So if I get this god, it's basically GG. If I don't, there's probably going to be a bit more of a game, but I think I still have a lot of options left. So I think that's basically where we stand right now. I think that is basically it. Our research is humming along. We're at 340. I guess we'll look at graphs real quick. I had told you guys back here that our research was about to start going crazy. And you can see whatever slope we thought we may have had, which wasn't much, it really did turn on. And it's going to go up and up and up. And not too long, this is going to be looking, you know, like pretty flat. Now, I mean, it's not going to be looking this flat, but it'll look like we're going to be at 500 or 600 research in a heartbeat. So we're going to be double this in probably like 4 or 5 turns for slope. So it's going to keep inflecting up. Dominion, I don't know if I actually showed you this. We're actually number 1 in Dominion right now. Guys, we went Dom Strength 2. And we have the most Dominion, most candles on the board of any nation in the game right now. The other nations that have a lot are Lemuria, which makes sense, and the other top one, and I forget, maybe it's Therados, I can't remember who has this other one close to the top. We just flicked over it. Yomi, interestingly enough. So, That's that. For provinces, you can see we were doing pretty good. We're probably number 1. I bet you number 2 is like maybe down here. And anyway, this last turn wasn't super hot. We got raided by that Indy. And we've kind of run out of expansion options. We've got a little bit more on God's Glory. I guess we'll have to talk through that real quick. We've got just a little tiny sliver more on God's Glory to get. These 3 provinces here, which this army can't go into this mini Kalulu. This is a weak shit army. So we're going to send them over here into these Tritons, and then we'll probably have some forces here. We're recruiting meteorites that will be able to reinforce and help take this. And then we may send our god here. We also probably will send our god here. It's a really nice province if people don't take it soon. So anyway, we've got a little bit of room left on God's Glory. Also down here, we've got 3 provinces to get. We've got just a tiny bit of stuff to get over here on Valanus, these 2. And we're going to be losing these 2 to Vettiheim as part of this deal, which does suck, but I don't know. We're happy to be friendly. And as soon as, if Vettiheim ever dies, which is reasonably likely, we'll just take this back. Yeah. And then, anyway, we've got 2 more to get down here, and that's basically it for our expansion. So you can see, turn 24, we're not even done with expansion. Now, other nations would have gotten in here, but we have cut them off from it. Very intentionally. We have planned all of this. Planned it all. And so, yeah, getting this will be a nice boon, and then we can come over here on Blandos. Back to the score graphs. So provinces, we're doing good. It's going to keep going up. I think we'll be able to keep pretty close to this slope for a little bit while longer. Forts, we're doing pretty good on. We're probably not number 1, but we're in the top pack, I would bet. Income, looking okay. Gym income, phenomenal. There's a decent chance we're in the top 5 for gym income. I think it's unlikely we're position 1 for gyms, because some people have like Pelagia has a really cool Conjuration 2 spell where they basically get Voice of Tiamat at Conjuration 2, but it's 0 range. So, yeah. It's cheap too. It's like 2 gems. So other people are probably going to have... There's some nations that are also really good at site searching. People have prioritized it more than me. But I found a ton of level 0 sites just because I'm so big. But our gym, we will be number 1 in gym income, I think, because we're so much bigger than in land, and we're about to do a lot of remote site searching. But anyway, we're very healthy in gym income right now, but we're about to be better. Research, we looked at. Dominion, we looked at. Army size, we're probably in the top 5 for that too. Just because we've got a decent amount of free spawn, we've been making units out of all our forts, and we're really big on ascension points. So that's that, guys. I hope you're stoked to see the Oceania War. In some ways, I hope there's no drama and we just eat them very quickly. In other ways, I guess it will be good content if there's drama and this teleport fails. And then we get to figure out what to do next. So I will see you all then. Take care.